It is another episode of the Better Learning Podcast. We've been talking movies, school related movies this year. It's always really fun. And I got a movie that was sent my way that I had not seen yet before. So I am joined by Peter Sharma. Peter, how you doing?
Hey Kevin, good. How are you?
Good. So Metal Lords is the one that you picked here. So I want to hear. I mean, you got the long hair. I'm assuming you got some music background or something like really spoke to you in this movie. How'd you pick this movie?
I'm just really into music. Unfortunately, don't play instruments. I want to get into it. I'm kind of living that dream through my daughter as well, hoping that she becomes a rock star. Who knows? We'll see.
Nice. How
Uh,
old is she?
but she's 20 months old. She's tiny.
Yeah.
She loves rock and metal music as well. We just recently watched Ozzy's farewell concert just a few
Oh
weeks
no.
ago before he had passed away, and she was going, bye Ozzy," and
Oh
she was having
man.
a great time. But for music, I'm just a huge music fan, especially rock and metal. And my journey started with Metallica, their song Nothing Else Matters.
Yep.
My friend showed me a
Classic.
video of Nothing Else Matters from this concert in Nimes 2009. So I got in pretty late into rock and metal, but that's what you get growing up in India. Metal wasn't mainstream. That's where it started. And some of my first concert memories and stuff started there too with Megadeth and Guns N' Roses back
Oh
in
man.
2012, right before I
Nice.
left for Canada. And I finally got to see Metallica in 2017 in their full glory when they came to Edmonton, a city just 3 hours north of Calgary, where I
Nice.
live.
Nice.
Yeah, this country became home. I'm a
Yeah.
citizen
Very
here,
cool. Because
have a wife here and daughter here as well. And yeah, the movie just was right up my alley.
yeah, perfect.
I was like, School of Rock or Metal Lords.
I know School of Rock was a fun one too. You could
Yeah.
definitely see, like some of the similarities. Definitely the battle of the bands, that happens in there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I was thinking as I was watching this of like, there, like, there just needs to be more of this. Like, there just needs like music, like just battle bands. You see like how much like towards like athletics and different areas of kind of like that high school experience, and it just surprises me that there's not more music opportunities to have those types of like showcases or events, and I
Yeah.
think it'd be fun.
And there's a lot of really good like advocates and stewards for this as well. So the music direction in this movie is provided by Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, and he's sort of a connector. He connects the right people. He was also involved with Ozzy's farewell. He's been involved with Metallica's 40th anniversary and some of the, I can't remember, 40th anniversary or All Within My Hands Foundation. Metallica does these annual concerts, but yeah, we need more advocates out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to give the premise of this movie, I mean, it's really kind of about two kids in high school that were best friends for a long time, and kind of like that typical setup where they're the outcast in there. They're getting bullied, or one in particular is getting bullied, and the other one, yeah, is they dig into more of his struggles at home. It sounds like his mom passed away, and his dad was yeah, like not the best father figure for him, and but
Mhm.
that retreat kept coming back to music, in particular Hunter, who was like the metal lord. If we were gonna pick one, he was the metal lord.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a high school drama just wrapped in heavy metal, identity crisis in a way, sense of belonging. There's everything in it.
yeah, and I feel like like these are one of those movies, those coming of age types of movies that like everyone relates to. Everyone can see themselves in one or multiple characters. Was there one for you that you're like that? That's the one you related to most?
Probably Kevin. So Kevin is this shy kid, and he's trying to find his identity in a way. I was a shy kid in school as well, so I could completely relate to a lot of character development that Kevin has had gone through as well. So yeah, that would be the character that I would
Yeah.
pick, and his transformation, I think, around midpoint in the movie, or wherever, whenever War Pigs started, and
Yes.
he started really getting into it, and I was like, yeah, that's like if I had a different childhood, if I got into rock and metal a bit early on,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
How about
Totally.
you?
Yeah.
It was there.
Man, like I love like listening to music, and I love like pretty like I listen to a pretty wide variety of music, and but it was never like I joke around, like I think in like seventh grade you had to like get tests, like they would, maybe it wasn't that late, it was probably like fifth or sixth grade, but you had to like pass a test to like join band, and apparently I failed it. So I wasn't like,
Competitive.
yeah, like I didn't even like all my friends like were playing like some instrument, and I'm like, oh, I no, I guess I didn't pass. So I
Yeah,
wish I would have, because I just didn't have, yeah, I feel like I just didn't have that type of exposure. So I didn't have like any of the connections to like the musical component of it in there, but it's definitely from like just a high school experience of, like you just kind of have the kids that are, like just kind of in the middle of the road and kind of get lost. I would say I was probably one of those because I was like, yeah, I wasn't great at anything. I wasn't horrible at anything. I was just kind of one of the ones that just can easily get lost, like right in the middle of it.
yeah. And it kind of speaks to what we go through in schools as well, right? It's not always just about the tests or being the best at one thing. I've seen like there's a lot of creative artists that may not be the best at the instrument itself, but they have the creativity to draw things out. They see things differently. So I think there's a lot that movie explores in that sense
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and I always give like all the ones that are willing to like get up on stage like in front of their peers. That definitely was not me.
Yeah.
Did not
Yeah.
want anything. No, like no way. You won't want the spotlight on me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't
Uh,
me neither.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, so maybe in that way it was more of like, yeah, more of like Emily, who like she was the cello player, although she got a lot of attention early in the movie.
She
Um,
did. Yeah. Yeah. She went through an interesting character arc as well. And I could relate so many things. Just, with metal, there's a lot of like you'd see there's a lot of gatekeepers and, people that are like, oh, this is not really metal. Or there's a lot of moments in the movie, similar moments in the movie as well. I'm pretty open minded. Before getting into rock and metal, listen to a whole lot of different kinds of music. Bollywood, of course, rap, and just like a lot of different things. I see it as it connected me through like a lot of concerts that I've been to, and every time James Hetfield from Metallica is like, "You're a family." It's there's no judgment. You're here for the love of music. I think
yeah,
that sentiment needs to be there a bit more, and we need to be more accepting.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the last concert I went to was not, it was like an indie folk group that I really liked, but it was the day that Ozzy died, and they played an
Oh,
Ozzy cover song, and it was awesome. It was really cool.
that's great. Did they play
Yeah.
"Mama, I'm Coming Home"?
No, they
Or
didn't. Man, now I should look at the name of it. I'll have to look it up.
or yeah,
But
yeah, it's okay.
yeah, but yeah, it was really cool because yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, you get like metallic, you get all of these like big names that are just like woven into the fabric of like, yeah, I think even the people who are not like metal fans, they at least know who they are and they like know what they
Mhm.
represent.
Yeah, yeah, and they would all, of course, be judgment, right? That I'm gonna say Metallica a lot because that's my favorite band. But they went through an era when they released like a music video for their song "One" from "Injustice for All," and everyone was like, "They're sellouts. They're going mainstream." And then they came out with the Black Album that had Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, and they
Yeah,
became really, really big. And gatekeepers and some people that felt like Metallica is my thing, it's my precious thing, and they don't want to share as much, they want it to be a smaller crowd. But that's the thing, right? That the perception that you have about where a band is going and just overall acceptance.
well, so the movie came out in 2022. Was it only on Netflix? Was that
Yeah.
the like? That's where I watch it. Okay, so yeah, released on Netflix. All right, what's your guess? I always do IMDb ratings. Um,
Ooh.
I don't know if you look this up or not, because I feel like it's like this is not the critics. This is just people rating it, and I always feel like it's extremely accurate. So, what would you say
Yeah.
out of 10? What would be your guess?
I'm gonna give it two different ratings. One is my rating,
Yeah, let's hear
and
your rating first.
my rating would be close to 8.5
Okay,
because
nice.
it connected with me a lot.
Yeah.
But a general rating, I might give it, let's say 7.
All right, you're right there. So it was a 6.7, which is like
Okay.
right around that borderline. I always say like if it's over 7, it's usually like it's usually a good movie. That and I would say that in between is like that 6.5 to 7, where it's like all right, like that's connected with some people, but not everyone there. So
Mhm.
I felt like it's probably pretty accurate of just like general. I mean, 35,000 ratings. So that's probably
Yeah,
what I would have guessed. I probably would have guessed like high sixes
that's where you
in
would
there.
say too. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I probably would have given it a 7. Yeah, I always just like these. I just think they. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're doing a whole show that's around like that's around school related movies, and I
Yeah.
just feel like there's a reason why there's so many of these. It's because everyone it's that shared experience. Everyone, for the most part went through school
Mhm.
and had their own kind of unique experience, but can feel like they connected or had a very similar experience to people in these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I dropped the rating a little bit because it was just both good and a bad thing is the movie suffers a bit from identity crisis
Hmm.
in a way, which is like perfect for metalheads and something that I can
Yeah.
relate with. Phase that you go through, you're trying to figure out who you are, and there's some things that draw you to this music as well, right? Different kinds of music that give you that sense of empowerment.
Yeah.
Right before the podcast, I listened to the song from, I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly, Ennio Morricone, The Ecstasy of Gold. It always gives me power in a way. Like if before I'm doing something like a presentation or the podcast today, I listen to it similar to how
That's awesome.
Metallica opens with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Nice. All right, you good? Anything else general on the movie before we dig into some of these awards?
No, I think I'm good to go.
All right. So we always started out with the John Keating Award, which is like the best teacher or mentor. I'm curious to hear your nominees. There were, there was some interaction with adults, not a lot of interaction with adults. So
Mhm.
yeah, curious to hear what are your thoughts? Did you have anyone stand out in this category?
Mine's not gonna be a traditional mentor in any
Well, it
way.
shouldn't.
It's going to be Dr. Troynix. Um,
I was thinking that too. Yep.
his character arc from being a metal guitarist and to a rehab doctor trying to give back to the community as he went through rehab as well. Arc overall reflects that transformation in a way,
Yeah.
and it kind of connects with the schools evolving from or how the infrastructure is now to more sustainable adaptive spaces. I see it as a bit of parallels between the two there. Now I'm curious
Yeah.
to hear yours.
No, I was thinking that too, especially from like the adult figure. It was kind of like that mentor, the one that Hunter was looking up to, and then yeah, and that feeling of like, no way, like, like I followed you, and now you're a doctor, and now like and then he's yeah, like rejecting him, saying like, no, maybe next year, and then at the end, kind of redeems himself and
Yeah,
helps him escape so he could play at Battle of the Bands. Mine was actually, I thought Kevin. Like,
Kevin. Yeah,
yes, like he was the
yeah,
friend that was there for Hunter when, he was really, really struggling, and just kind of like forced him to think differently. I looked at that, I'm like, wow, like he really helped him grow. And then you obviously saw like Hunter's evolution towards the end of just like turning into really almost like a totally different person, like just
yeah,
completely, yeah, just open and accepting and wanting to let other people into his life. Yeah, I felt like Kevin was the one that really helped him to was there, there through kind of all the bad times for him and helped him get through it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
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 I could connect to that actually. Just you see at one point in the movie when Hunter and Kevin they're not talking, right? And Kevin goes to this music store and he sees these two kids fighting, and that reminded him of him and Hunter. They're fighting, and you get back together and you help your friend out, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, which is exactly what he did.
yeah.
Is
He
that
didn't give up on him. Yeah, he snuck in to to get him out of that facility. Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Um,
like that take. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So clicks, a lot of clicks in this movie. Well, I'm just gonna open that up. What stood out for you?
Hunter versus Jocks.
Yeah.
uh, I mean, the movie it kind of critiques the overall stereotypes and how creative students could often lack support in a way, which was interesting. Again, I connect a lot of these things with how I approach some of the projects I work on too. So traditional school design could marginalize non-mainstream learners, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in a way, through sustainability, I intend to uplift everyone in a way. So yeah, that Hunter versus Jocks is the cleats
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, or just like the other band was kind of like the cool kids playing like this mainstream like which I mean in that era was I mean that was the music. But yeah, they were just mainstream kind of boring. I just think of like all right, I should probably just ask you right now. What's your take on Nickelback, the band?
I, I like them.
All
I
right.
know
Okay.
a lot of people hate them because it's cool to hate them in a way. But I like them. And
Yeah.
they're from a town in Alberta,
Oh,
in
really?
Canada. Yes.
Oh, you know what I did? I feel like I watched something about them. Yeah. Of yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least the two main guys. Yeah, I don't remember their names, but the two main guys like grew up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting the name of the town, but yeah, they're Canadian.
but they definitely got this label of like the most like hated band that really you could have given it to like like any other band in that era.
Yes. And
Like
and you
there were
know
so
what?
many that they just played very similar sounding songs over and over again.
Yeah. And you know what? Like now some of those bands that were hated in that era have become nostalgic.
Yeah.
In a way that's not. You're going to the concert for nostalgia. You're going to see Nickelback. You're going to see Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting how things change, and
Yeah.
yeah, being
Yeah.
cool to hate some
Yeah,
bands.
I know. Yeah, it is funny because it does feel like all of those bands are touring around right now.
Mhm.
I just saw one that came. I'm like, oh man, I had thought about that band in forever. That was coming through. I need to look it up now because I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember what it was. Yeah,
Linkin Park.
that's another good one. But that was not yeah, I feel like I'm getting just so many of ones that are just touring around. Like, oh man, yeah, forgot about them. Like Offspring or some of these other ones that, yeah,
Yeah,
they're just like, wow, they had, a couple songs
yeah,
and now
yeah,
they're still touring. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The love of music is still with them.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Yep. All right. Class clown. Is there somebody that stole the show? They were made, in some of the scenes, they were just either funny or just, it got a lot of attention in there.
It's a bit different, very different take on this. It's the cameos that were made by the metal legends when you see Rob Halford, Scotty, and Kirk Hammett, just those guys when they showed up, and they're trying to give advice to Kevin in a way, which is like funny, like some things that Kirk said as well. They're arguing amongst themselves as well. So I saw them as class clowns.
That's awesome. I didn't even catch that. See, this is where like, yeah, your knowledge probably really helped in this movie. That's awesome to hear. I didn't even catch that there were all those cameos in there.
Yeah, Tom Morello showed up too. Was by the pool when this girl came up to Kevin to kiss him, and they're telling him that, "Oh, what about Emily? You really love her." And Kirk is
Yeah.
giving an argument that, "Oh, but Kendall has these feelings as well, and Kevin's young and all those things. So he's like giving, like we've all been
That's
there, advice, and Rob Halford in the L and pulls him, that, oh, what you doing? You know,
yeah.
I can't do the accent, but yeah, that one
Yeah,
connected me as class
yeah,
clowns in a
that's
way.
cool. Yeah, that I'm gonna go with that one. That's a great one. Was there a one-liner that stood out for you in this movie? Like anything that you find yourself repeating or or saying?
There were a few. The one that really stood out to me was when Hunter said to Robbie, we see Robbie throughout the movie. He's a kid with Down syndrome that people treat you like you're invisible. That line really hit hard. It's a reminder that inclusion isn't optional. It's essential
Yeah,
for us in design as well. We must consider everyone, neurodivergent students, those with disabilities, vulnerable communities. It's not an ideology thing, it's basic human decency, right? So that, yeah, people treat you like you're invisible, that when, and a lot of kids feel that way, right? How do we make them not feel that way? How
yeah,
about you?
that's good. I had like one that was more of like I felt like it was just a good line. I may use it again here later. But Hunter says like metal is taking the pain that you feel and turning it into something loud. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, that's a pretty good one for the movie. But then they Emily had one in there too of like, I'm not like the other girls. I play the cello. Like I'm like that. I like that too in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I wrote a note here, but I can't. Maybe you can remember exactly where it was. Where I wrote it, I don't even remember the context, but a quote of "I take Pepsid."
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. At one point when Kevin walks into the music room and Emily's playing the cello, they're talking, and she talks about, she snapped at the band teacher, and that was because like she hasn't been taking her pills, and she of course has some mental issues she's going through, and she says she takes these pills and she hasn't taken those, and Hunter's like, oh, I take Pepsid.
All right.
Which is just like, it shows, Hunter is just, sorry, not Hunter, Kevin is just, a lot of times he thinks that he says things just that just comes
Trying to
straight from his
relate, but
heart and
yeah,
trying
but
to relate,
yes,
but they don't. There was a very similar moment. There are a few similar moments. Another one that connects with me is like when Hunter shaves his head.
yes,
After getting beat up, he says that, "Oh, I look like Jason Newsted from Metallica as the bassist." And Kevin's like, "Oh yeah, the one who got fired." And Hunter looks at him weird because Jason did not get fired. He left the band. And so he's pretending he knows,
yeah,
a lot of things. And in the beginning of the movie too, he was saying that uh, that the homework that Hunter gave him, have you gone through this or not? And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know what polyrhythms are," and he
yeah,
definitely doesn't,
yeah. It does
right?
not. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I
That's
really like
funny.
that one.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I like it the other one too at the beginning. He goes, I don't play the drums, I play the drum. When he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
talking to his marching band.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
When we work with schools at K 12, it's not just about furniture or design, it's about impact. Our radically student centered approach puts students at the center of every decision. From that first conversation to the final walkthrough, we're focused on creating spaces that actually work for the kids, the teachers, and the community. So if you're looking to do more than just check a box on your next project, let's talk. Visit K12.com. That's KAY twelve.com and see how we're helping schools transform learning one student at a time. Because at K 12, it's not just about projects and furniture, it's about purpose. All right, realistic or ridiculous? Were there things in this movie that were overly
Oh,
very realistic? You think, and then let's start there, and then we'll go if there's anything ridiculous.
um, so a lot of emotional truths are spot on. Just how Hunter feels or how Kevin feel in some ways, that why is this band Mollycoddle that's playing, they're not even that good at instruments, but they're drawing the crowd, right? They're playing a lot of pop music and they're trying to understand, like, that those are the emotional truths that you go through, and not everybody likes what you may like. So that would be a realistic thing for
Yeah.
me.
I, yeah, I felt they really hit like the high school experience.
Mhm.
Really, like, really good. I mean, all of those, like, yeah, the party scene, but like of just really getting those dynamics in there. And then obviously, like, you and I spent a lot of time like on designing schools, and oh man, that was just like the most stereotypical but also very real view of like what the inside of schools look like.
Mhm.
Cafeterias like super plain, hallways lined with lockers, the classroom set up with those, yeah, with the combo desks, all facing the front,
Yep.
front of the teacher. Yes, I mean, extremely realistic. That I hope we can help make that less realistic in the future. But as far as like that era and what school looked like, it hit pretty good.
It did. They did a really good job of that. I have a bit of a design eye too. I was pointing things out that, oh, like they keep reusing this. I think they were, when they were shooting, they were just shooting it on one wing of a school or
Yes,
something, I
I kind of
think.
noticed that too. They had like
Uh,
one area that looked like it would have been designed for like an extended learning area, like kind of like open more, and it was just like nothing there. And then they had like a few like little like soft seating stools like lining
yeah.
the walls, but you're like, oh man, you can see there was like, so somebody tried to think to give this a little like a little different space, and clearly just I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it makes me wonder if like they actually like had to like clear that out just for filming, because there's so little just like open space in that school.
Yeah, I'm assuming with, like, since it's a Netflix only movie, they have like limited budget they're working with, and trying to make things work. And
Yeah.
it's all the illusion that you draw in the movies and shows, right? That makes it appear real. But when you have the designer, you're like, oh, like this thing, or, you pinpoint some of those things out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anything ridiculous? Anything that seemed like completely unreal?
There's so many things that are really over the top in this movie. So like when Hunter's rehab,
Yes.
when Kevin broke him out, I mean that
Yeah,
stuff's not going to happen in real life,
yeah,
right? Like you think
right.
about that Kevin just sneaks through and pulls the fire alarm and they just run away, which was like it was fantastic. There's a lot of really great music. Metallica's Whiplash starts playing, adrenaline starts to flow, you're trashing all around, acting like a maniac, all those things that they're doing. It was a perfect song. But yeah, that's one ridiculous thing that I would pick.
Yeah, yeah,
um, yeah.
yeah.
What
That's
would you
good.
pick?
Being able to break out of of that rehab facility was very ridiculous. I'm gonna look, but if I had anything else in there, I mean, there's always that the last scene, which we haven't talked about, but we'll have to talk about here at some point, of like, like the actual battle of the band scene. That was kind of ridiculous in there. It
Oh
made it funny.
yes.
It made it good, but
And Hunter's
um,
flying,
yeah.
when he's playing the solo.
Yeah, I think that's probably the winner for me. It was, yeah, there was definitely, yeah, that was definitely ridiculous, but it made it good. It made it entertaining for the movie.
It
Um,
definitely did. I watched a interview of the actors that were involved,
oh
and
yeah,
the actress that played Emily. I forget what the instrument is, with the cello. Is it a string? What is it called? The
yeah, the cello.
handle, ch
Oh yeah, I know
the
the bow. I don't know if they
handle
call it
thing,
the bow for
bow,
that
or
too. Yeah,
anything that is. But apparently she threw it to the crowd so many times during takes, and was maybe hitting some people there too, and just getting in the character, which was really fun. But yeah,
that's
shows like
funny.
just being over the top a little bit there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So this one we call it the iPhone effect, but if it was remade, into today's era, which what I mean, it kind of was, right? So,
Hmm.
but they didn't really have a whole lot of like, I don't know. It felt like it could have been filmed like for an era 20 years ago. Is there anything different that you think, technology wise, whether it's phones or just other things that change that would make this movie different?
Yeah, I was surprised too, since the movie was done in 2022. I mean, it's also COVID era, and things are a blur
Right.
around that era. But in today's world, like I would have expected it being the characters that are in the movie. If they were in today's world, they would have to be influencer heavy in a way, like TikToks,
Mm,
Reels, and that's how they get visibility in a way.
yeah.
Um, which makes me think of, what about all these gems that may not be good at social media, may not be good at TikToks and Reels, and
Hmm.
that's the hidden talent. There's a lot of noise out there, right? There's like so many platforms. There's Spotify, SoundCloud. You can really access the markets now easily.
Hmm.
But amongst all these people, all the talent, how do you stand out? And TikTok
Yeah.
Reels, they connect with a lot of people. So I think modern remake would focus on it, that being influencer
Yeah.
heavy,
I
and yeah.
totally agree, and I actually wonder if that may be a little bit why we see less of less of kind of these live events now. It's
Hmm.
because a lot of time they don't have to. I mean, if you're a band or you're a musician, you can do it at home, just record it and then put it out to the world. That you don't need kind of those school events to really share your music and your craft. And yeah, the good or the bad of that. I mean, I definitely miss like that shared experience that he have in there, but they
Yeah.
didn't. They really did. I don't know. It must have been purposeful because I'm trying to like think back through. Like clearly, like he called, like he tried calling him. So I didn't think anything of like the technology seeming old or out of place. But
Hmm.
there was not a lot of emphasis on which I see teenagers how much they are just glued to their phones,
Yeah.
and it didn't
Yeah.
feel that way in the movie.
Yeah. It didn't. It was almost like you're saying it could have been 20 years ago in a way. Um, like there's this band called Ghost. In their live concerts, they recently have included a policy that they're not going to allow phones. Your
Okay.
phones will be locked in like pouches that you'd be given. And when you leave the venue, the phones you can access the phone again, just so that you don't have a phone in front of you the whole time. Which that's something that made the experience better for a lot of people,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, because you're present. You're not just trying
Exactly.
to. How many times do we go back and watch those recordings? Maybe like here or there, right? But some people record the whole thing.
I'm gonna skip ahead here just for timing on two.
Yeah,
I want to hit two more good categories of where are they now?
yeah.
What do you think they're doing right now? What do you think Hunter, Kevin, Emily? What do you think they're up to?
I I think they're doing what they set out to do. They have a band. They record a demo. They release their music, and they're playing local gigs after Battle of Bands, because they were headlining on the newspaper, right? And even though they didn't win, they became popular, so they won in a way. I mean, in real life, I would love to see them tour Calgary, and I'd be in the front row supporting them before they
Nice.
blow up, and that'd be really cool. I think that's where things would go.
Yeah, that'd be
Yep.
cool. I mean, yeah, I would say since it's so close that you can totally still seeing them do it. I think if I was going to fast forward a little bit, like to like after the breakup of the band, like when they do end up going their own direction, um, I think Hunter would probably still be like involved with music to some degree. I could see Kevin like total like not having anything to do with music. He can go, yeah, I don't know. I'm like
Any
he
direction.
he he
Yeah.
really could have gone any direction.
Yeah.
But Emily was the one that I'm like I could see her. Are you familiar with this violinist Lindsay Sterling?
She's coming to Calgary. I'm going to see
Yeah.
her in about a month or
Oh.
so. Yes.
So I always point to her. Not everyone knows who she is, but I have a daughter who also
Mhm.
plays violin, so like she's really tracked her. But
Yeah.
to me, that this is like a perfect like she's such a good example of how you can take like music and make it your own. Pretty much everyone who plays violin, they are playing, like in an orchestra or like just in a very formal environment, and she just like
Hmm.
completely made it herself, like with dance and more pop and doing like collaborations with other artists.
Yeah.
And I could totally see Emily doing that for the cello.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she could be the one that's like makes that like a cool instrument and does something out of like that traditional type of orchestra.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. That's where my mind went as well when I saw Emily, because it's not traditional, right? That to have a cello player
Right.
be a part of a metal band. My all-time favorite album is a Metallica Symphony in Metallica when they played with the San Francisco Symphony. And rest in peace, Michael Kamen. He was the artist behind like connecting a lot of dots there. But that non-traditional way of doing things, it connected so well with the band.
That's
Um,
really cool.
I have played that
I love
CD
that.
like
Yeah.
for years and years since I discovered it. That's still in my
That's really
car.
cool. That's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love like I just love when they have like that little twist in there and the music, or a certain artist will play a cover in a different like I really
Hmm.
love when people do that. All right, which goes into the last category, probably the most important category for this movie, which we actually call the Battle of the Bands. There was a
Yeah.
Battle of the Bands, but what was the best musical moment for you in this movie?
There's a few. And Machinery of Torment, the song that it started with
They
and
wrote it
ended with.
right, so like that was a good song that
That's a good
that
song.
they wrote, yeah, for that movie. I thought that was, I mean, that was great. I mean, that final performance. But go ahead. What else are you gonna say?
I'd say so. I already mentioned like Whiplash song when they broke out of the rehab facility that they're playing was very fitting in a way. I love that song, and I'm glad that I got to see Metallica play that song in front of me in the Snake Pit, and memories I will cherish forever. But the second one was at the transformation point for Kevin when they played War Pigs,
Yeah.
and towards the end when they played War Pigs 2. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Like that's
War Pigs was the song they played at that concert I was at.
yeah, War Pigs.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay. Generals gather in their masses. I mean, what a fantastic song. I mean, that's what connected with me at that time, and when I rewatched it recently, hit home with Ozzy. Yeah, first time I listened to that album after I got into metal through Metallica, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses. I had to say to myself that like I was just born in the wrong era. I'm an old soul at heart.
Yeah,
I really gravitate towards like 70s, 80s
very cool.
music a lot.
Yeah, very cool. Nice. Well, good choice. Thanks for bringing this movie to my attention.
Yeah.
Fill me in? Like, tell me real life. Tell me about like the work you're doing and some of the things, because you're at Stantec. How long have you been with Stantec?
With Stantec, almost 7 years. Yes, 7 years at Stantec and have been in the industry about like 11, more than 11 years. Um, my journey has been a bit unconventional, similar to the movie. I started in computer science, like, and then shifted to architectural technologies. Like, I could have been a tech bro, and then I worked at an electrical engineering firm, and that overall mix gave me like a strong foundation to understand buildings holistically in a way.
Okay.
And sustainability was always a passion of mine. Like in my projects, initially I started with just throwing solar panels on my design and sustainable, done. And there was a lot of learning that I went through and got involved with the Canada Green Building Council, and there's a lot of learning, a lot of mentors that I've had in the industry. So now I happen to work on a lot of amazing education and K-12 projects, not just for Canada, but in the US as well. sharing that expertise that I have, helping design and construction teams build healthier and more sustainable schools in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, I'm gonna channel it through the movie a little bit here as well. That there's in the movie there's a lot of empowerment through nonconformity in a way. The characters embrace metal, a genre that is tied to rebellion and authenticity in a way. Since I do sustainability consulting, that sustainability education does the same. It challenges norms and imagining better futures. I mean, it's all about giving the students, the teachers, designers, trades, everyone permission to think differently, to question the status quo in a way, and to act on what matters to them in schools. I'm a really big proponent for there's no one single sustainability strategy for every single project. It's unique to every project that we approach, and that's what I built on in my holistic sustainability through a holistic sustainability lens. Um,
So when do you typically get involved within a project? Are you in there really early talking through this with the team?
as early as possible,
Yeah.
before schematic design, pre-design, we want to be at the visioning sessions, helping identify those opportunities early on, especially since like that's the when you approach sustainability as another item, uh, then you're going to see just like costs attached to sustainability, right? But
Right.
when you integrate into design, when you really think, okay, this is going to bring value to us long term, these schools that we're building are also a hub for our communities for, in case of emergency as well. How do we build them more resilient so that we could provide a safe haven in those conditions as well? There's a lot that goes into it. So ideally, we want to be involved as soon as possible. We say that a lot that if you're missing sustainability and energy from the conversation early on, you're missing a key discipline. It's like not having your mechanical engineer, structural engineer on the table.
Yeah.
You can't imagine not having them there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you are you noticing any differences from projects that are happening in Canada versus the States?
the projects are approached in a very similar way, I would say, in terms of your design process, how your the traditional design approach for design bid build, some design build projects, and integrated project delivery. All of those are in the US and Canada too. So I think we benefit a lot from those shared construction topologies and all those things that we work through. Funding is different in US versus Canada. Schools are funded provincially. So when you think of province, think of state. So all the funding comes from there versus in the US you have these bonds that you go through, right? So that's one different thing that I would
Yeah.
point out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Well, yeah, it's always nice when you can learn from each other. Like that's what I always like too of even just like some of the community, whether it's like the Association for Learning Environments or Ed
Mhm.
Market, some of these other associations where you can kind of see what other people are doing, what other spaces are doing, and try to apply it into the projects that we're working on. So
Yeah. When I work on projects in the US, we bring a lot great perspective for cold climate design, and we know how to um, a lot of projects that we work on, we work on really tight budgets, tighter than some of the US school projects that we
okay,
work on as well. So we know how to be frugal. We know how to bring value to these projects, and achieve a balance between your capital investment that you have and what are you able to get out of it and how long is that building going to last for you. So at Stantec we have all the designers, we have engineers, we have marine biologists, climate scientists, everybody on the table that is helping inform these designs to be better moving forward with long term in mind. Yeah,
yeah,
so
that,
there's a lot of creative collaboration and inclusion that takes place with like Emily's cello thing that we're talking about, right? It's a metaphor for me for interdisciplinary collaboration, us working cross borders, across states. There's a lot of great examples there.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice. Good way to tie
yeah,
it back in too as we wrap up. So I appreciate that. Well, thanks for doing this. To the listeners out there, if you have not already subscribed wherever you're watching or listening this, hit the button, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple. We try to put it out everywhere. BetterLearningPodcast.com really is our hub for everything too. So we do get a lot of suggestions and ideas from people that have filled out the form on the website. So we just always really appreciate that. But Peter, this is great meeting you, great talking Metal Lords with you, and yeah, we'll connect here soon.
yeah. Great conversation. Thank you, Kevin.
The Better Learning Podcast is produced by Matt Rogers and edited by Kelly Jones. The views and opinions shared on this podcast are those of the individual speaking and do not necessarily represent the perspectives of their affiliated companies, organizations, or associations.